إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله قال الله تعالى يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد, respected brothers and sisters in Iman, Ramadan is approaching. ونسأل الله أن يبلغنا رمضان. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us by His mercy that we become part and parcel of Ramadan of this year, inshallah. Luckily, there is a point which I think should help us to prepare again for Ramadan. And this point is missing amongst the Ummah, ala wa huwa, this nuqta is being patient with one another, tolerating one another. Sabr ma'a ba'd. You and me, we are very emotional towards one another, very angry towards one another. It is as if there is a switch. You switch somebody and he jumps. And sometimes we speak rude or we behave rude to one another. Ramadan is known as Madrasa to Sabr also. One of the best that we attain or obtain for Ramadan is self-discipline and patience and tolerance with one another as Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So this is the topic, inshallah. How can we promote tolerating one another? How can we be patient with one another? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18, ayah number 28, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ. That, O Muhammad, be patient yourself together with the Sahaba, together with the believers who are calling upon Allah, praying to Allah morning and evening. Be patient with the believers around you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. These al-mu'minun الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه. They do not worship Allah. They do not supplicate to Allah. They do not invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except that they seek His pleasure. They seek His pleasure. They seek His face, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then warned the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَلَا تَعْدُ عَيْنَاكَ عَنْهُمْ. Let not your eyes pass beyond them. تُرِيدُ زِينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. If you do that, it means that you are seeking the temporary decoration, enjoyment of this world. Do not say that, oh, they are my companions, but they are poor. They are my companions, but they do not have positions. They are my position, but maybe they are not educated. La, be patient with al-mu'minun, because iman is above everything. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah. Nothing surpasses that. Anyone who says La ilaha illallah, mukhlisan from his heart, and that he believes in shurut of La ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, be patient with him. تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Rasul, ولا تطيع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا. Do not obey those whose hearts we have made to be heedless. Their heart is heedless from the remembrance of Allah, no matter what their position is. No matter how much wealth they have, do not make a mistake of preferring them above al-mu'minun. Al-mu'min is al-mu'min. He has la ilaha illallah. There is no way that you will belittle him and degrade him. La. Al-mu'min and mu'min needs to be patient. We need to honor and respect one another. We need to behave with discipline towards one another. We need to treat one another with respect and kindness and gentleness and mercy. ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا. There are people who don't believe in Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made their hearts heedless, especially from the remembrance of Allah. وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ. Then you find that they have followed their vain desires. وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُ فُرُطًا. And all their affairs in this world, all that they say is in vain, is meaningless. Do not obey such people. Do not obey them. Do not just say, oh, I'm going to have sabr with them, ignoring your Muslim brothers. I've chosen this topic, Ahbab, because one of what is lacking amongst the Ummah that has led to our differences, our division in the community is lack of sabr, lack of respect, lack of discipline towards one another. We are living in Jahiliyyah in many ways. We have Iman, we have Islam, yet we are destroyed and doomed by Qabaliyya and Unsuriyya. I'm belonging to certain tribe, and I'm belonging to certain class, and I'm belonging to certain club. So he is not my equal, and he is not my color, and he is not my class. This is killing Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And so we are not patient with one another. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Anfal, chapter 8, ayah number 46. Anfal. وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. And obey Allah, but also obey His Messenger. وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا. Do not involve in disputes. Do not dispute with one another. Do not quarrel with one another. Do not quarrel with one another. فَتَفْشَلُوا. When you engage in quarreling and battling and fighting and arguments, what will happen? You will lose your focus. You will lose the focus. فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ. And even your strength will part. Your strength will part. It will depart. You will be left strengthless. You will be left weak because you promote fighting with one another. You pick fighting with one another, arguing with one another, quarreling with one another, picking on one another, degrading one another, belittling one another, looking down upon one another. فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ. O Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, do not promote arguments and disputes. Somebody comes to the masjid. If he does not quarrel with somebody, he is not happy. somebody will come to a beautiful, humble, peaceful community like this, he will always find something negative. If not from the mihrab, then with bulbs. If not with bulbs, with the microphone. If not with the microphone, even if it happens that a fly visits the masjid, he will find something with that fly. He will go to the bathroom, he will complain. He will go to the kitchen, he will complain. He will complain. Yani, he is negative. Ibn negative. A son of negativity. He will never speak good about the ummah. He will never speak good about the masjid. He will never speak good about his brothers. He will find something. The whole ummah is wrong except him. He's Mr. Right. وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا. Don't be petty. Don't be petty. Don't lower yourself to the extent that you are the only one who is right. Do not involve in disputes, quarrels, and arguments. فَتَفْشَلُوا. Subhanallah, you will lose your focus. And your strength will depart, and you will remain in a state of weakness. Look at the condition of the ummah today. Everything has been made an area of quarreling. Even the microphone of adhan, calling adhan in masajid, this one is causing problems in masajid. Now, this one is a big problem. Microphone, mimbar, problem. Sajjad, problem. Place of wudu, problem. This, problem. Parking lot, problem. The gate, problem. Controlling car, problem. Ramadan is coming, problem. Sighting the moon, problem. Please, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want us to be a ummah that quarrels on petty things. This has resulted to our what? Allah says, if you do that, فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ, you will lose the focus. This ummah is not just a cheap ummah. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. Thus, we have appointed you. We have appointed you. We have selected you. We have elevated you to be the witnesses of mankind. لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. Are we witnesses of mankind today? Or we are being witnessed? Our hearts is very hot. We are very emotional towards one another. You don't argue with somebody positively except that he's angry. And he has mentioned your tribe, and he has mentioned this, and he has mentioned this and that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاسْبِرُوا, be patient with one another. That is the solution. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ. If you are patient with one another, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always be with those who are patient. Tolerate one another. Persevere one another. Be patient with one another. The message from Allah Azza wa Jalla to Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As-sabr is of three levels. There is a sabr, or sabrun ala ta'atillah. There is patience regarding obedience to Allah. It's not easy. It has been called, you know that. Leaving your blanket and walking in your bathroom to perform wudu. And then just getting. There is ni'mah in America because we have cars, everybody. Not like other places where somebody may be riding a bicycle or walking. How many kilometers to the masjid? Yani between even your blanket to the car is a problem. It's a sacrifice. You need sabr. Siyam is coming, you need sabr. Leaving your food and your drink. Your wife or your husband, you need sabr. You work the whole year for 12 months. Then you hear imam or a sheikh or a da'iyah or mufti or talibul ilm or a brother or sister reminding you that aqimu salah wa atu zakah. Then you start thinking, I've been working. This masakin never worked the way I'm working. I've been sweating. I suffered a lot. Now I should take 2.5% and give just like that. Shaitan tells you, if you give them this, what are they going to give you in return? طيب الحج أشهر معلومات ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه السبيل. Now it's time for Hajj. After Ramadan Hajj, should I go or not? It seems that this year is too expensive. Let me wait until when the prices come down. Shaitan is playing with you like that. فَلِذَلِكَ صَبْرٌ عَلَى طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ. The first type and category of sabr is a sabr being patient when it comes to obedience to Allah. You need to be patient. Being in the masjid 5 times every day is not easy. 3 times every day. Twice a day, even once, is not easy. You start thinking of your gas, you start thinking of this, and you start thinking of that. Am I going to get my own parking lot? Am I going to get, this and that? As-sabru ala ta'atillah. This is one. The second type of sabr, ahbab, is as-sabru aw sabrun an ma'asiyatillah. Is patience regarding refraining and disconnecting from disobedience to Allah. All acts of disobedience, al-muharramat wal-manhiyat, it's not easy to avoid them. Na'am, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you so that you don't commit zina, you don't smoke weeds and hashish, which is open in Colorado, you don't abuse alcohol, you do not commit muharramat, such things which Allah has forbidden and such things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited. It needs sabr. And the third type of sabr is is a situation whereby you become patient on al-maqdurat or al-aqdar. Al-aqdar, na'am, al-aqdar al-mu'lima, such things which Allah has decreed which are painful. Then, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. Shaykh Allama Ibn Qayyim al-Jawzi also says that there are 3 types of as-sabr, and one is as-sabru ma'allah, is patience with Allah, in the sense that you do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded you to do, and you avoid everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides you and directs you, you do it. And whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids anything, you avoid it. As-sabru ma'allah. The second one, he said, as-sabru billah. Wa ma sabruka illa billah. Na'am, you cannot do anything without the mercy of Allah. فَلِذَلِكَ your patience, you should always seek the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you to be patient. And the third one, ahbab, is as-sabru lillah. The fact that you are patient for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My respected brothers and sisters in Iman, lack of sabr has destroyed families. I'm telling you again today, as your Imam, the level of divorce among Muslim communities in America is very high. Don't even mention Kufar, don't mention Christianity, don't mention it. The level of at-talaq among Muslim communities is very high. I say 60 to 70% of them would have been avoided or prevented. But because of lack of sabr, our sisters are not patient, some of our brothers are not patient. Everybody has kibr, everybody has arrogance. You don't play with me, I don't play with you. You don't play with me, I don't play with you. They are behaving as if they are girlfriend and boyfriend, not a husband and a wife. Many homes are destroyed. Children do not know whether they should support mother or father. We have destroyed the future of our girls and boys because they see how we are quarreling. That is how they're going to treat their husbands and wives in future, because they learn from it. Na'am. Lack of sabr. Can't we be patient with one another for the sake of Allah? Because marriage is an act of ibadah. A brother and a brother don't drink water. A brother and a brother from the same womb. Shaqa'iq. They don't. Don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. The families are torn apart. They meet in the masjid, one is in that corner, another one is in that corner. They don't even see one another. They live in the same Denver, in the same Aurora. They don't talk to one another. Each one of them is mutakabbir. He's following shaitan, he's not following Allah. Lack of sabr. Same women who are married in the same family don't talk to one another. Communities don't talk to one another. Our masjid, their masjid. Our shura, their shura. Our this, our that. Our this, our this. Lack of sabr among Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Listen to the following hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam based on narration of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu. أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إياكم والظن فإن الظن أكذب الحديث. O Ummah of Rasul, avoid much suspicion. Avoid much suspicion and speculations. Disconnect yourself from suspecting your brother and your sister. فإن الظن, for suspicion, أكذب الحديث, is the worst form of any word or statement uttered. Suspecting. When you see 3-4 Muslims sitting, a lot of riba. We have no sabr to the extent that we have to backbite one another. يعني ما نحترم بيت الله. Even inside the masjid, someone will check. If you see somebody doing this, like this in his mouth, Allah, you see that? Then he smiles. Look at that nifaq. Don't do it. He can even put shaitan as well. And as soon as you come Habibi, he tells you Habibi. And the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, two faces to one another. Suspected, I think, I suspect. We have become our own Al Jazeera, our own Sky News, our own Arabiya, our own BBC. Self-appointed, self-created BBC. You don't talk good about your brother in Islam. Ma fi husnul dhann, all about is su'ud dhann. I heard that he is like this. I heard that she is like this. I heard. Ya akhi man akhbaraka. Who told you? I just heard that. I have a friend who knows him. This friend said, I have a friend who knows him. We do not look at one another with the ayn mada al-rahmah. We do not look at one another, wishing one another, making good dua for one another. فَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ أَكْذَبُ الْحَدِيثِ. Islam does not allow you to suspect your brother, and especially when you did not witness, when you are not sure. Somebody may say, إِنَّ بَعْضَ الظَّنِّ إِثْمٌ نَعَامٌ. Who tells you that the dhann that you have suspicion is not ithm? Then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَلَا تَحَسَّسُوا وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. Do not be a person, Yahweh. Do not create yourself to be a self-appointed FBI. We have FBI in America. We have CIA in the world. You want to be a third CIA of FBI? How should we call you? Somebody tells you this community is in my hand here. I know the secret of everybody. Shaitan and Ifrit. You are joined to Iblis. You saying, and you are proud that you know the secret of everybody. Who told you to do that? وَلَا تَحَسَّسُوا. Do not dig at people's weaknesses. Do not make it your job. There is no payment. There is no salary for that. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. Do not spy on one another. You want to know what he wears and what he dresses and his wife. Some people are too nosy. Wallahi, some people have contributed to destroying marriages in our community. He's not even a relative. Even if you are a relative, this is a wife and husband. What is your role? You take fitna from the husband, then you bring to the wife. You take a fitna from the wife, and then you celebrate when these people are going through such a tough process of divorcing one another. Do not spy on one another. Your husband was doing that, and your wife was doing that, and I saw her in Walmart. Ya akhi, ittaqillah, wa la tajassasu. Do not spy on one another. Wa la tahasadu. Do not envy one another. What is killing Ummah of Rasulullah is al-hasad. Hasad. Wallahi, if we were united, and if we were united, and if you are united with love for the sake of Allah, we have America in our heart. But a Muslim cannot even work with a Muslim. A Muslim cannot form a partnership with a Muslim in business. But he said, I'm fine of having partnership with John and Mark. And one brother told me that, mashallah, you know, a good Muslim is a dead Muslim. La ilaha. It is because of lack of trust between us. Naam, some Muslims have crooked other Muslims. Some Muslims have stolen from other Muslims. Some Muslims have lied to other Muslims. Let us talk. Let us be open with one another. Some cases have been in the court here. There is no truth between some Muslims, but that does not rule out the fact that we are brothers and we should be patient with one another. Al-Hasad, wallahi, you wish if your Muslim brother can die tomorrow. You wish if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him with the car, with the taxi, you say, I wish if that car rolls 10 times. Ya akhi, you do not even make dua for your Muslim brother when he buys a new shoes. A cloth, we are so jealousy and we envy one another negatively that it has never been found in many communities. Al-Hasad. Al-Hasad. A husband is envying his wife. A husband is envying his wife. A wife is envying the husband. Yani, al-hasad, which is common, which is spreading between us, I'm telling you, is too severe. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us, wala tahasadu, wala tadabaru. At-tadabur also means do not walk away from one another. Do not sympathize. Do not disconnect from one another. Wala tabaghadu. Do not hate one another. Do not hate one another. وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ بِإِخْوَانًا. Be, all of you, be the slaves of Allah. Be brothers as slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Advice from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When we stop doing such things which Rasul has forbidden, you will find that the level of sabr amongst us is going to be strong. But we are backbiting one another, gossiping, spying on one another, looking at one another's fault. We don't speak good about one another. Where is this dua in our lives? وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Where is that dua? And those who came after them, after Anbiya and their followers min al-mu'minin, يقولون, they will always say, رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا, oh Allah, forgive us. وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ. We never saw Isa, we never saw Ibrahim alayhi salam, we never saw Al-Hawariyin, their followers, yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging us to make dua for them. اغْفِرْ لَنَا, forgive us. وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ, also forgive our brothers who preceded us in Iman. That is the mahabbah. وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا. Do not make in our hearts any what? Resentment, any rancor, any hate, any grudge. لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, towards those who believes. رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Ya Allah, you are all kind and all merciful. Where is this dua in our lives? Don't we know ahbab? That Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells us, hadith narrated by Abu Darda رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال دعوة المرء المسلم لأخيه بظهر الغيب مستجابة. A dua that the Muslim is making for his brother in his absence. Wallahi, I'm not sitting with you. You are not sitting with me. I remember you that you are my brother for the sake of Allah. And I say, Allahumma arhamhu, Allahumma ighfir lahu, Allahumma barik lahu fi awladihi wa amwalihi. I make dua in your absence. That dua is mustajaba, accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. عند رأسه ملك موكل كلما دعا لأخيه بخير قال الملك الموكل به آمين ولك بمثله. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending this malak min al-malaika, not Jibreel, a special envoy sent to you by Allah. He is right on your head here whenever you make a good dua, not a bad dua, not suspicion, not al-hasad, not at-tajassus, not at-tahassus, not at-tabaghur, not at-tadabur. La. Whenever you make a good dua for your brother, this angel is saying, Ameen, may Allah accept that dua. And they are saying that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you, who is making good dua for your brother, may Allah grant you the same. We need to be patient with one another. I want to conclude my khutbah with the following. Ramadan comes and we normally say, Akhi, forgive me, forgive me. We need to forgive one another throughout the year. We need to forgive one another throughout the week. We need to forgive one another throughout our life. Ramadan is a madrasa. It prepares you. It is a refreshment course, ahbab. But if Ramadan cannot help you after Ramadan, you say that he was just my friend, or I only spoke to him in Ramadan. After Ramadan, he's my enemy. And nobody can force me to talk to you. Don't attend my funeral. Don't even visit me when I'm sick. I don't need you. You don't feed me. You are so ignorant. You are so anti-ajhal. You do not know that a Muslim and a Muslim needs one another. Wallahi, we need one another. We need to be patient with one another. If you have a problem with your brother from today after Jumu'ah, do not wait until Maghrib. Go to his house, take your kibr out. Get rid of your kibr and tell him, Akhi, let us forgive one another for the sake of it. If a husband and wife thinks of divorcing, go back and think that marriage is ibadah. Na'am, marriage is ibadah. You do not know if this is going to be your husband in Jannah. You do not know that if your wife is going to be your means to enter Jannah. You do not know. You do not know if your husband or your wife is going to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are transferred from Jahannam to Jannah. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to divorce Hafsa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam, and this hadith is sahih, and told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that there is no way, you do not divorce her, take her back. And 3 reasons were given from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Rasulullah. Jibreel alayhi salam is telling Rasul, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says you cannot divorce her for 3 reasons. 1, she performs a lot of salah, and she's doing a lot of fasting, and she is going to be your wife in Jannah, so do not divorce her. Have we considered that? Have we considered that? We are quarreling because wife is making money and the husband has a problem with that money. We are quarreling because a husband doesn't make enough money, so he has an old Corolla. But wife has Lexus, like other women, so you are not a man. I'm going to divorce you. La ilaha illallah. We are quarreling because a husband is not making enough money, so he lives in Section 8. You want your husband to buy a house of 500,000, so he is not a husband. We are quarreling because some men are mujrimun, they are criminals. They tell their wife that according to Islam, any money you have belongs to a husband. You are a criminal, you are a thief. You are a thief. You're going to find it very difficult in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who says that a wealth possessed by a woman belongs to a husband? La, in Islam, her possession is hers. Her wealth is hers. She is your wife, وَالرِّجَالُ قَوَّامُونَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ, but you have nothing to do with her wealth. If you do not bring your salary in my hand here, فَأَنْتِ طَالِبْ, you are divorced, and you don't play with me. Wallahi, some men don't even buy their women beds, the cases that I'm receiving. I haven't met with you, I'm calling some and they are running away from me. They come on Juma and they are hiding. They have 4, 5, 7 children, the wife doesn't even have a bed at home. A bed. Mattress is broken. He's ready to make 7 babies on a broken mattress. Outside here, he tells you, Sheikh, please, you want to eat? You go to find him in Filmata, he's buying you big lunch, big dinner. MashaAllah. Yeah, don't buy me dinner. Go and buy your wife dinner and children. $150 every month. When you are making 4,000, 5,000, yeah, volume enter. Wallahi mujrim enter. You give your wife 150. What are you doing with the rest 4,000, 5,000? You make money and you send your wife to go to Section 8. You have 4, 5, 10,000. You have a business, you are making 20, 30,000. Mujrim ant. You tell your wife, go and pretend that we are not together. Go and lie to the government that we are not together. I know this is very severe. Some of you may not like me from today. It's okay. Allah will love you. Haram. Haram. She has to lie to the hukuma that you are not together. And you go to that house at night and making babies. When should a Muslim lie? We need to be patient with one another. Ahbab, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam yaqul in hadith, and this is my conclusion of this severe and hot khutbah. We are facing Ramadan and make tawbah now. Fix your life with Allah now. Be truthful with Allah from now. Fix your life with your husband. Fix your life with your family. Fix your life with your children. Fix your life with your brother in Islam or your brother as-shaqiq. Fix your life with your parents. There are people who have their parents in this community, they don't talk to them. He's coming here, Allahu Akbar. He's praying, Allahu Akbar. He has lihya. His beard is here, mashallah. Longer than mine 10 times. Beard is sunnah wajiba. Beard is sunnah wajiba. It is sunnah of all anbiya. But what about your parents? What about your parents? Or you get a wife who says that, honey, I love you so much, honey. But we have to move to another step because I cannot put up with your parents. Then you say, yes, I love you so much. Which Jannah are you going to enter? Jannah of Shaitan or Jannah of Allah? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us that ridha Allah, the pleasure of Allah, anyone who is seeking pleasure of Allah, fi ridha al-walidain, is connected to pleasure of parents. And the anger of Allah is also connected to the anger of parents. One of scholars says, مَا رِضَاهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِرِضَاءِ الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَمَا بَقَاءَ الْكَوْنِ إِلَّا بِحَنَنِ الْأَبَوَيْنِ فَكُلُّ مَنْ يُغْضِبُ أُمًا أَوْ أَبًا يُغْضِبُ رَبَّهُ فَابْذُلُوا رُوحَ فِدَاهُمَا تَجِدُ الْخَيْرَ جَزَاءً. You love your wife so much or your husband so much that you don't even talk to your parents. You treat them like a trash. Sister, if these parents did not wipe your husband's back, you would have not seen him to be a handsome person. Watch out. Watch out. If you do not talk to your parents, go after this salah, please kiss their forehead and tell them, Mom and Dad, forgive me for the sake of Allah, because you do not know what time Malakul Maut is going to come. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. Sabr is connected to Al-Falah. Please, Muslim community, let us be patient with one another. Let us not be angry with one another. Let us not grudge one another. Let us be kind to one another. Let us be respectful to one another. Let us be disciplined to one another. Let us not backbite and justify our backbiting in our groups. You are going to be al-muflis on the day of Qiyamah. You're going to be bankrupt in the court of Allah. When your salah will be taken and will be given to your brother or your sister, then you remain without any amal salih. Then their sins will be transferred to you. Then you will be grabbed on your forehead to Jahannam on the day of Qiyamah. May Allah put mahabba between us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put love between us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite us for His sake. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us back from al-ghafla to realization that innama al-mu'minuna ikhwa. Astaghfirullah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin wal aqibatu lil muttaqin wa la udwana illa 'ala adh-dhalimin. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بلغ رسالته وأدى الأمانة نصح الأمة جاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم أما بعد. Brothers, Ramadan is approaching and there are two calendars for feeding people. Iftar is Sa'im. If you walk outside this door, right on your left or right, you will see there are two schedules. And until yesterday, only 2 people signed in to feed the people here. I know some people complained that why do you force us to choose days that we don't want? That can be fixed. We also set up priorities, but if you feel that you want any other day which was not included there, that can be fixed. We have to make your life comfortable in the masjid by the help of Allah. We have to make sure that you get quality services, inshallah. And that is why we encourage always from Shura to President and Executive Imam that if there is any issue, don't talk on the side. You come to us. If it's too hot, we will fix that. If water is not running, we will fix that. If electricity is If the bulb is broken, if the parking lot is good, so that we can make our life comfortable or our stay comfortable. فَلِذَلِكَ I'm encouraging you, because Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us of the reward of feeding people who are fasting. Please check and see what you can do. Come to me or go to the administrative office, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. Next week, inshallah, I will give a full khutbah in case Ramadan does not fall on Jumu'ah. I will give a khutbah on ahkam al-siyam, now, and how we should behave in siyam. But I feel, without any apology, that this was very important. We need to be patient with one another, regardless of your skin, regardless of your tribe, regardless of your this. Some people are very nasty. I had things that I don't want to say on the member. Some people are very nasty. They are haters, full of grudges when they come to a masjid. Yani, they do not speak except good. Speak good about one another. Let us fix what we wanna, whatever is wrong in a wise way as brothers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make us strong, inshallah. Allahumma rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ahu wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinaba. Allahumma alif bayna qulubina wahdina subul as-salam. Najjina min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allahumma ati nufusana taqwaha zakkiha anta khayru من زكاها إنك أنت وليها ومولاها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ارحم موتانا وموتى جميع المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى جميع المسلمين. اللهم اغفر لأهل القبور من المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات. اللهم إنك قريب مجيب دعوات يا قاضي الحاجات يا كافي المهمات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. والحمد لله رب العالمين. We were informed that there will be Salatul Janazah at the second Salah. So inshallah, this is the information that I have. And whoever is here, make dua. We have 2 bodies in the masjid here. One belonging to our sister from Syria, and let us make dua for Syria and Libya and all Bilad Muslims. And another one will be buried on Saturday. Wa aqimus salat.